Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I have a global listening audience, and so people are often in different time zones, and I gotta honor that. So, where I am, it's the morning, but where you are, it may be the evening or the afternoon. Either way, I appreciate your presence and tuning in and listening to my different conversations. So, this morning, I want to share how the Womb Sauna experience really taught me to forgive everybody for everything. Put that in the comment section. I want to forgive everyone for everything. I want to forgive everyone for everything. And you can do that. That's a real experience that I discovered in birthing this expression of V-steaming, Yoni steaming. And it is also something that I witness. And the women that I serve, they come in heavy, they come in angry, they come in deep pain and sorrow about different types of violations. Sometimes it's physical violations, sometimes it's psychological and emotional, childhood abuse, all kinds of traumas that show up on my pot. And I, step by step, through our specific method that we use, teach women to measure the cost of holding on to the wound and the pain. And I teach them where the pain is sitting in their body. And I help them decide what is more valuable to them, the pain or the deliverance from it. That's what it's like to be in session with me. Hold on, y'all. My daughter is Zariel. Turn that off and close my door, please. She just woke up. Close my door and then you can turn it back on. I'm live. I thought you were still asleep. I'm live. Close the door. Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, I'm mother, so I don't need to apologize for mothering my child. I didn't want y'all to catch she had just turned on the TV and woken up. So anyway, I teach women how to really, really understand that your body keeps score. Put that in your notes. Write that down. The body keeps score. And then behind that, write down the womb records everything. Everything, Tama? Everything. So what I discovered is when I started doing womb work, there were archives of memories I had suppressed and tucked away until my brain felt it was safe enough to unpack those things. And what triggered the notification to my brain was the brain of my womb. So when I started interviewing my womb and saying things like, what is your story? And if I could interview you and hold a mic to you, womb, what would you say your journey in life has been? And my womb began to show me things that I didn't have the courage or strength to remember until it was time. And then I had to decide what to do with what I remembered. What value do I assign to all of this information? There were people I had forgot. I'll never forget I experienced a lot of peer violations in my youth. I remember when I started doing womb work and then having to go sit in a choir stand next to someone, excuse me, who violated me and sing wondering, does she even remember what she did? Does she even remember, or did she too forget and suppress the memory to survive? I had to decide what to do with what I was remembering. And because of the way we walk women through a womb sauna experience, they are able to get just enough of a taste of what's on the other side of pain and what's available to them. And it's such a profound point of recognition that it creates a cellular memory in their womb, in their body, because of the healing modality, because of the combination of the herbs, the steam, the oils, the crystal, all the things that we use in our expression of Yoni steaming. That woman has the opportunity to come to a crossroad and decide, am I going to continue to live my life through the filter of my wounds and my pain and use all of my energy and creativity to try to hold these people accountable? Or will I master the art of surrendering it all, not because people are worthy of not being held accountable, but because I am worthy of the relief and the responsibility being displaced on God, because I don't need to carry this anymore. I was innocent from the beginning, and I am learning how to reclaim my innocence. You get to do that. You get to reclaim your innocence. You get to reclaim your innocence. And so there's different ways of doing that. And I'm sorry if the volume is going in and out. I'm moving around. There's different ways of reclaiming your innocence. And for women, really being connected to your womb, the womb of your mind, the womb of your body, and the womb of your spirit will absolutely help you recognize what you've been storing and holding within that is keeping you from being happier. Because in order to preserve unforgiveness, you got to constantly rehearse and replay over and over and over again the violation to preserve the energy of the rage. So you put yourself in this chronic state of remembering. And to remember is to replay over and over again. So it could have happened 2 years ago. It could have happened yesterday. It could have happened 20 years ago. But you keep summoning the energy of the past and reliving it just so that you can stay angry and continue to tell that pain story, hoping that the rage is fulfilling enough to be able to be free from the impact of the experience. The reality is only what you classify as a threat to your well-being is real. Your beliefs dictate what you experience, and they shape and mold your perception. So literally, I remember sitting on my pot when I was birthing out the Womb Sauna's method of Yoni steaming. It wasn't enough for me and my movement to just have the technical side of it and how to, set up the pot, the water, the herbs, get something to cloak yourself. That wasn't enough, because when I had my first Yoni steam experience at a Korean spa, there were emotions stirring up in me, because remember, the womb records everything, but there was nobody there to hold space for the emotions that were unlocking because of what was happening physiologically. So I knew when I birthed the Womb Sauna that it would be a true holistic experience. And so I remember the days when I was, solidifying a blueprint for our method, when I would be sitting on this pot, all of these emotions would be stirring up, and I would need to cry sometimes. I would need to yell. I would need to learn how to integrate all of these emotions that my womb kept tucked away, that showed up as abnormal growths, ovarian cysts, and hormonal imbalances, and all. The body more. The body keeps score. I got so many background noises in this live today. I hope it's not distracting you from the energy I'm channeling to you through this conversation. But anyway, so I needed to really, really, really make peace with all of these experiences that I've had in my life. It's going to be difficult to make peace and simultaneously hold the narrative of being disadvantaged, broken in some way. You're going to have to decide if you're more powerful than what you've been through, or if you're going to set on your life for just being what you've been through. As for me and my house and my work and my movement, once I learned how to define myself as bigger than and more powerful than the things that have hurt me, I had no value in whipping on people and holding a certain perspective of them for my entire life. It was easier and it made more sense, and it validated my decision about my power to forgive everybody for everything. Because once I realized that I am the most powerful piece of the puzzle in my life, you're not a threat. Your choices, your actions, what you've done or what you possibly could do really carry no weight over here. My life obeys me. My body obeys me. My bank account is listening to what I say. I am the loudest voice in my life. God has the final say concerning me, not you. What you did to try to steal my power, steal my innocence, steal my joy. How many more times am I going to keep giving you power, attention, focus, energy by rehashing that narrative? I give my clients an opportunity. I give them a quote on how many times they get to render themselves as powerless and as somebody being more powerful than them in process with me. And there have been times that I have literally turned off the pot and said, sis, stop. Don't you know the story you tell you got to live? Forgiveness doesn't mean that that person is right. Forgiveness does not mean that you weren't wounded. No, forgiveness means I'm unbothered about it. It does not affect me anymore. I have properly classified this experience as irrelevant to my destiny. My past is behind me. It can touch me not. The Lord is my shepherd. I have everything that I want. And even when I walk through the darkest valleys in my life, I know that God was with me and is in me and is allowing me in this present moment to be the strongest vibration in my life. I don't have to keep telling us. There are certain things, if you're listening right now and you just needed this, I just need to say this to you. There are certain things you should not be wasting your energy talking about anymore, because it is that irrelevant to who you have become and where you are headed. There are blessings and great things and great people and safe environments and safe spaces that are available to you right now, but you are letting the remembering, the memory of all of the past keep you from being fully present. Be here now. Put that in the comments. Be here, now. Stop using old information for new experiences. So there's been times that I've had women pop in the squat on the pot with me, and literally, they just decide that it's behind them, that they don't need that energy anymore. They don't need to talk about that anymore. That they really want this moment, that they're having with me on the pot, butt naked, with herbs and steams, all of the stuff that we do, is more valuable than any other moment. And when that happens, those clients experience a life-defining moment. It becomes the birth date for a new version of themselves that has reclaimed their power. I teach them to reclaim it from all directions, north, south, east, west, call it back, run it back, and put it inside of my womb so I don't need to grow fibroids, so I don't need to deal with infertility, so I don't need PCOS or endometritis. I don't need to grow the pain in my body anymore because I have learned how to teach my body what to feel. And I teach women through the Womb Sauna experience how to program their body to stay in a chronic state of joy, even if they are going through hell. If you got to go through hell, you rock with Tamer, you spend some time with me, I'm going to teach you how to get through it with a smile on your face and a skip in your step. I don't believe that there is any wound bigger than God. I just don't. I know that there are tragedies. I mean, I have had my own, but I've worked with hundreds of thousands of women through the Womb Sauna, and my impact has reached millions. So my inbox always has messages from women sharing their stories with me. I have heard horrible things that women have experienced. And yet, I still boldly say that pain is not bigger than power. And there is a power inside of you that loves you and has equipped you with everything that you need to put your past in its proper place, which is behind you. Everything is new. It's a new season. And I feel that way, not necessarily because the moon is lined up and this planet is here and these things are happening. No, I just believe that I get a brand new life every day, that there are new mercies I see every single day, that every day that I wake up, that is my sovereign moment to decide what that day will be. The day does not happen to me. I happen to every day. I set my intentions. I program my brain and organize all the information for the day. I do all of these things. I meditate, I chant, I ring my bells, I light my candles, my incense. I'm doing all of that because every 24 hours means something to me. And that's how present I've learned to be, by just letting stuff go and letting people go, not wasting any more energy on trying to make them pay and obtain justice. I don't need it, because the energy underneath that says your actions and what you say about me and what you think about me and what you did to me is more powerful than what I think about me, say about me, and do for myself. And that's just not my belief. It doesn't matter what happened. It doesn't matter what could happen. You don't have authority that overrides the authority I hold in my life. There's not a devil that does. There's not a human being that does. My life, my body, my outcomes are a reflection of my thoughts, my choices, and my actions. And as long as I'm good with me and I don't lose myself, And I align my self-concept with the vision that the divine mind holds for me. I am a perfect idea of Holy Spirit. I came straight out of the heart and womb of God. As long as I'm good with me and I'm seeing myself correctly, my joy and my success is inevitable. I don't know who I'm talking to today that needed this conversation, but please hear me. Is holding on to that energy of that wound, that trauma, that past, really that important? Every time somebody wants to get to know you, you got to tell them about how broken you are. Saying these things about yourself, how's that working for you? Is it getting you what you want in your life? At some point you decide, and this is what I mean when I say healing starts with a decision. At some point you decide that you are bigger than anything you have ever gone through. And the wound, although tragic, was not meant to break you, but teach you your personal formula for how to break through adversity. I hate that women collectively have so many trauma stories and tragedies. I cry over it sometimes when it gets heavy. But then I remember the truth. And the truth is, you're bigger, sis. You're more powerful than what you've been through. You are not defined by your experiences. You are the one who defines your experiences. And nothing has significance until you give meaning to it. So be careful about how much meaning you give to the things you experience. Decide to focus your energy on the things that are vibrant, that invoke joy, that keep you aligned with the truth of who you are and how powerful and beautiful and magnificent you are. That is why the Womb Sauna exists. And this is what I do with women. Some of my marketing and branding coaches, they tell me to talk to the marketplace in third grade language so they can understand. It's difficult for me to bring the conversation down because honestly, like, my work is not superficial and surface level. We're not doing spa parties and pulling out wine. No, that is not what we do here at the Womb Sauna. And you can ask the thousands of women that I've serviced. Go to the testimonial tab on my website. They will tell you the Womb Sauna changed my life. I don't know what the hell Tame would be putting in that pot, but the whole experience, I walked in one way and walked out different. That is what I do. That's what I've been doing for 12 years. And that's just what I'm here for. I'm deep water, bottom of the ocean energy. I get to the root. And some of you know that what you've tried is not working because you don't have the right witness to really be surgical with your subconscious and say, hey, it's this thought right here that you hold about yourself that is growing those fibroids in your body. I'm going to need you to decide what's more important. Continuing to think and believe that about yourself so that your body has to literally create a container for that energy, or are we ready to heal everything and let it go? How long are you going to hold that person in your womb? You're not ready to send them back where they belong? How long are you going to keep rehashing this stuff? If you're in need of a life-changing breakthrough, I got you. My team, like I told you, we serve a global market. We answer our phones 24/7. It could be 3 o'clock in the morning where you are. You could call the Womb Sauna and you will reach a live person. So call. Invest in your self-care. Invest in your next life-defining moment. You can work with me or one of my service providers and book a session. We provide support in person and virtually because some people aren't where we are headquartered, which is in Maryland in the United States. But last week, I serviced women in France, the UK, the Caribbean. Like every single week for years, I support women all over the world. So, yes, we provide support in person, virtually. Some women invite me to come to their area and service 10 to 12 women that they've gathered and help them have their life-defining moment. And I bring my team and we set up our pots and we do a sister healing circle. Nothing is impossible. Once you make the decision that you are healed, you've done the majority of the work. The hardest part of the process is to decide that you are healed. Not healing, healed. Once you decide that and you make that decree, your body takes notes and says, oh, the owner of this body has decided that we are not sick anymore. And she's planting her feet and she's speaking those things that be not as though they are. Oh, this one's got big faith. I think we need to get in formation and start configuring the cells and the organs and the blood flow and everything to align with what she has said about herself, because she believes it and she means it. And even though she's not feeling it, she's acting like it, she's talking like it, she's thinking like it. Something has shifted. And next thing you know, you're at your doctor's appointment for another pelvic ultrasound and they can't find what was there. How do I know? Because I've lived that. I'm not telling you something that sounds good. I'm telling you what I live and know and is part of my womb story. When odds have been stacked against me, I've redefined those odds. Doctors have said to me, you have calcified fibroids in your womb. The only way to remove them is through surgery. And I say, give me 30 days and let me come back and do another ultrasound and let me show you who I am and who my God is. And I go back in less than 30 days and their mouths are dropped because they can't find what was once there. I'm that girl. I know what's possible in womb work. It's easy to heal. It's hard to decide that you are. But the body is fearfully and wonderfully made. It knows how to self-correct. But it also is designed to be obedient to your consciousness. How valuable is it to see what you've been through as more powerful than you? And what does it cost you in your health? If you need me to ground this energy in your body and put you on a path where you can have these kinds of miracles, invest in your self-care. You can book a session with me directly at thewombsauna.com/appointments. If you cannot afford me yet, I invite you to fast and pray and get your bread up, because I do not lower my standards on how people access me, because what I do is too significant. And I've been able to help women reprogram their bodies and heal in permanent ways in just one session. So I have to honor that. And I have to invite women to be at a certain frequency to come into process with me. And because money is common language, women, when they invest, their subconscious mind prepares for something significant when they invest at certain levels. So if you cannot afford a one-on-one session with me, fast and pray and say, God, I know I need this energy in my life. I know I need Tama. And you'd be surprised how many women do that and miracles break through. The other option is to go to my YouTube channel, subscribe. I have over 250 videos and content for free that you can start combing through and feeding off of my energy there and with what I've placed there. And then the other option is to come into my Woman's Circle of Empowerment. You can vet that community for free for the first 30 days. Look how generous. See, that's the power of being aligned with your womb. My sacral chakra stays spinning in the right direction. I'm generous because I have overflow, perpetual overflow. So in the Woman Circle of Empowerment, we do a Sunday morning womb healing call. And like I said, for the first 30 days, you get access to that call to see if you feel at home in my tribe. And then after that, the investment is $89 a month, and it includes other membership perks when you come into my tribe. I give people different entry points because I know how important the healing work is amongst women. I hope you heard something in this live today that activated something in you, that has changed your mind, literally, about yourself. I love you so much. That's why I continue to show up in this work and have these conversations with you. I just can't quit. I just can't stop. It just feels too satisfying when I get feedback that says, oh my God, Tama, thank you for saying that. That was exactly what I needed. And that's my destiny and that's my assignment. And so I enjoyed chatting with y'all this morning. And I can't wait for our next conversation. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, tag another sister who needs these words of encouragement and say, hey, just listen to this. I think it's going to fuel you, feed your spirit. And hopefully I'll see some of you on the pot and we can seal up all of this energy and knowledge through a powerful healing session for you. Love you. Peace.